A Mac Tools ratchet costs over £100 off the van. A Facom ratchet costs roughly £40 through an industrial distributor online. Both sit inside the same corporate family, underneath the same parent company. That is not a rumour picked up from a forum. That is a documented corporate fact that the tool industry has spent decades quietly hoping you never look up. And today we are pulling back the curtain on 5 hand tool brands that the UK trades have been ignoring. Brands using the same steel grades, the same engineering principles, and in some cases factory supply chains that feed directly into the premium names your van dealer charges a premium for. By the end of this, you will know exactly which brands to look for, where to find them in the UK, and how to verify the quality before a single penny leaves your pocket. No opinions, no brand deals. Just the supply chain forensics and corporate ownership records that completely rewrite the value equation. And before we get into it, if this kind of breakdown is useful to you, subscribing right now takes 2 seconds, and make sure you catch every video we put out like this, because there is a lot more ground to cover, and the industry would very much prefer you stayed in the dark. Number 5. Facom. Most UK mechanics either pay full price for it at Machine Mart, or they have never heard of it at all. Both groups are leaving serious money on the table. Here is the background you need. Facom was founded in Paris in 1918, originally making a single adjustable spanner for the railway industry. Within a decade they had signed supply contracts with Renault and Peugeot, and by 1983 they had become the largest hand tool manufacturer in Europe by market share. For most of the 20th century, Facom was the default professional brand in every serious French workshop, the same way Snap-on positioned itself in the US. In 2006, Stanley Black & Decker acquired Facom outright for close to $500 million. That acquisition also pulled in Britool, which we will get to later in this video. Here is where it becomes genuinely important for anyone spending money on tools in the UK right now. Stanley Black & Decker also owns Mac Tools. Mac Tools runs a franchise van network in the UK, exactly the same model as Snap-on, visiting garages and workshops and selling tools directly off the vehicle at premium pricing. That franchise system is not free. The van costs money, the dealer costs money, the weekly visit costs money, and all of that overhead lands on the price tag of every tool you buy off it. Facom sits inside the exact same corporate group, with manufacturing across 4 primary European facilities, and it sells through industrial distributors and online tool suppliers at a fraction of what the Mac Tools van charges for comparable quality. The Facom 467 ratcheting combination spanner series is widely regarded by professional technicians across Europe as the benchmark short of Snap-on money, with a 72-tooth mechanism that is fully rebuildable when it eventually wears. The S-series ratchets and J-series socket sets carry the same reputation for precision manufacturing that French automotive supply contracts have demanded for over a century. A Facom combination spanner, set available through UK industrial distributors like My Toolshed or Machine Mart, sits at a price point that would genuinely shock you if you have been comparing it against what the Mac van is charging for tools that come from the same corporate engineering structure. The label is different, the corporate parent is not, and the supply chain math changes completely once you know where to look. Number 4. Elora. This one is going to frustrate a significant portion of you, not at the brand, but at the fact that nobody flagged it earlier. Elora is a German hand tool manufacturer that has been operating out of Remscheid since 1924. Remscheid is not an arbitrary location. It is the traditional heartland of German precision tool manufacturing, the same region that produced the engineering lineage behind brands like Godore and Stahlwiller. Elora has been producing spanners, sockets, torque tools and drive accessories for professional use for a century. And they remain genuinely independent, not absorbed into one of the big tool conglomerates. That independence matters for a reason we are going to come back to. Every Elora tool starts as a hot forged blank of chrome vanadium steel, specifically grade 31C, RV3, which is the same specification used across top-tier European professional tool manufacturing. Hot forging produces a continuous grain structure running parallel to the outer shape of the tool, which is a fundamentally stronger construction than cast or stamped alternatives. The result is a spanner or socket that consistently exceeds DIN torque testing standards and holds its dimensional accuracy over years of professional use. Elora uses what they call the OMS profile on the open ends of their spanners, which increases contact surface area on the fastener head significantly, reducing the rounding risk on corroded or over-tightened hardware. Now here is the angle the industry does not publicize. It has been observed and documented in UK professional tool communities for years that Draper Tools, one of the UK's largest tool importers and distributors, has historically sourced certain lines of spanners and socket sets from Elora. Draper is not a manufacturer. They are an importer and rebrander. They purchase tools from manufacturers who produce to specification, and they sell them under the Draper Expert label at retail price points significantly higher than you would pay buying Allura directly through a specialist industrial supplier. The tools in that Draper Expert box carry the same German forging heritage. The Allura label on the shelf beside them sells for less. A complete Allura metric combination spanner, set through a UK specialist supplier, will typically land well under £100. The equivalent quality under a retailer brand at Harford's or a similar outlet often costs more, and the engineering behind it is not superior. Allura sells tools into aviation maintenance, marine engineering, railway infrastructure, and industrial plant environments across Europe. These are sectors with zero tolerance for tools that fail under load. The professional community has known about Allura for decades. The general UK market has largely walked straight past it. Now, before we go further, there are 4 things you can check on any tool, in any catalogue or any shop, to separate a genuinely well-engineered product from one that is priced on marketing rather than material. First, find the steel alloy specification. Chrome vanadium, specifically grades like 31C, RV3 or chrome molybdenum 4, 2C, RMO4 are the marks of professional grade hand tool steel. If a brand will not publish the exact alloy designation on its spec sheet, treat that as a red flag. Second, feel and count the ratchet engagement. A premium professional ratchet mechanism runs 72 to 80 teeth, giving you a swing arc of 4 to 5 degrees in tight spaces. Budget mechanisms run 36 to 45 teeth, and you can feel the difference the moment you click through a rotation in a confined space. Third, look for DIN and ISO compliance markings on the tool itself. These are independently audited manufacturing standards. A tool that carries a genuine DIN 3113 or ISO 3318 mark has been manufactured to a specific dimensional and strength standard. A tool without it has not been tested to that threshold. Fourth, check the country of manufacture against the brand's published spec. Country of manufacture is not the whole story, but it tells you which factory the tool came from. And for some brands, that distinction matters enormously when you are comparing what is on the shelf against what is being sold off the van at 3 times the price. Number 3. GEDOR. Here is a name that every serious professional in Germany, the Netherlands, and industrial Europe knows by reputation, and that a large chunk of UK mechanics have either overlooked or dismissed as too specialist. GEDOR was established in Remscheid in 1919, the nucleus of German precision tool manufacturing. For over a century, they have been producing wrenches, sockets, torque tools, and striking equipment in their own German facilities, maintaining control of their steel specifications and heat treatment processes throughout. That manufacturing integrity is precisely why GEDOR has been the default industrial supply choice for plant maintenance, offshore engineering, and heavy vehicle workshops across Europe. The primary GEDOR range uses vanadium steel grade 31C, RV3 on spanners and chrome molybdenum 42C, RMO4 on socket inserts, the harder wearing specification for higher torque applications. Forging done in Germany, heat treatment done in Germany, dimensional accuracy held consistently to DIN and ISO standards. Now, here is what reframes the value entirely. GEDOR introduced a second line called GEDOR Red, positioned at a more accessible price point. Independent buyers who have compared both ranges have noted that certain GEDOR Red items, particularly the striking tools, punches, and chisels, are materially and functionally equivalent to their counterparts in the premium labelled range. The price gap between a GEDOR Red socket set and an equivalent set carrying the UK franchise van brand name is significant, with both carrying chrome vanadium construction and ISO compliance. One absorbed the cost of a van network. The other did not. GEDOR Red, available through UK industrial distributors, consistently undercuts the van brands by a wide margin for the same material specification. This is not a brand that cut corners to get there. Number 2. Teng Tools. This one is for every mechanic in the UK who has spent 10 minutes hunting for the right spanner, because the drawer is a mess of mismatched sets. Teng Tools was founded in 1985 by Henri Tengval, who identified a gap in the professional market for a comprehensive hand tool range designed from the ground up to work as an organized system rather than a collection of individual items. The company is headquartered in Alingsås, Sweden, and is owned by Bergman and Beving, a Swedish-listed industrial group operating since 1906. Tools are manufactured in Taiwan to Teng's Swedish design specifications, and independent testing has placed Teng Tools first or second across all 8 product categories in comparative professional evaluations. Every socket, ratchet, and spanner is designed to sit in a dedicated slot in their TC tray system, a modular storage concept that clicks together across any combination of sets. Tool shadow systems are used in aerospace, motorsport and surgical environments precisely because a missing tool is immediately visible. Teng brought that principle to workshop use at a price that makes sense. The ratchets run 72 teeth, chrome vanadium steel throughout the socket range. ISO-certified torque wrenches, a lifetime guarantee backed directly by the manufacturer. The franchise van brands build their on-site warranty service into the price of every single tool. Teng sells through authorized UK stockists with no van, no dealer margin, and no franchise fee baked into the tag. Professional motor racing teams across Europe have adopted Teng as a primary workshop brand for the precision and the organization system. When the tools used in motorsport pit lanes are available at trade prices, with lifetime backing, the question is not whether they are good enough. The question is why more UK workshops are not already on them. Number 1. There is one more brand that aerospace technicians, precision engineers, and serious industrial professionals across the UK have known about for years, while the general market has overlooked it almost entirely. That changes now. That brand is Bako. Bako traces its history to Sweden in 1862, built on adjustable wrench technology from inventor Johan Petter Johansson, whose 1892 design is the direct ancestor of every adjustable spanner sold anywhere in the world today. Bako is now part of SNA Europe, which is the European operational arm of Snap-on Incorporated. Read that again, Snap-on Incorporated, the same parent company that runs the Snap-on van franchise in the UK, charging premium prices for tools sold off the vehicle with an on-site warranty service built into the cost. SNA Europe produces Bako tools across facilities in Sweden, Spain, France, Portugal and Argentina, and sells them through retail distribution at Toolstation and Screwfix at a fraction of what the Snap-on van charges for tools from the same corporate engineering group. Bako cutting tools are manufactured primarily in Sweden and are the global benchmark for hacksaw blade performance. The Sandflex bimetal blade that Bako developed remains the standard against which professional cutting performance is measured in industrial applications across Europe. The Argo handle series across Bako screwdrivers and gripping tools is engineered for extended professional use, reducing hand fatigue on long shifts. The lifetime guarantee is processed through the retailer. Your Toolstation receipt is your warranty document, no mail-in, no van visit required. Snap-on's European manufacturing group, producing to the same engineering standards that justify franchise pricing, selling under the Bako name at trade retail prices any tradesperson can afford. The corporate parent is the same. The engineering is professional grade. The only difference is the distribution model, and that is entirely where the price difference lives. Here is the pattern that connects all 5 of these brands. Facom eliminated the franchise van premium by being the professional European brand that never built a van network in the first place. And the Mac van, that does exist inside the same corporate group, simply absorbs a cost that Facom does not carry. Elora eliminated the retail markup by selling through industrial and specialist channels and remaining independent enough to avoid the marketing overhead of the conglomerate brands. Godor eliminated the distributor premium by being a direct manufacturer with over a century of German production infrastructure, where the price reflects the tool and not the tier above it in the supply chain. Teng Tools eliminated the service model premium by building a warranty system backed by Swedish group ownership and delivering it through UK trade stockists rather than through a dealer franchise. And Bako eliminated the entire conversation by operating under the same corporate parent as the most premium brand in the market, while distributing through retail channels at retail prices, meaning you are buying the engineering without buying the van. The markup structure of franchise tool distribution is not paying for better steel. It is not paying for superior heat treatment or tighter dimensional tolerances. It is paying for the vehicle on the road, the dealer's margin, the franchise system, and the convenience of an on-site warranty visit. For some workshops, that on-site service is genuinely worth a premium. If a tool fails mid-job and the billable hours lost outweigh the price difference, the calculation changes. But for the apprentice building a first professional kit, for the independent mechanic who knows the value of a good tool and has no interest in paying for a logo and a van visit, for the tradesperson who wants professional-grade material at a price that reflects the manufacturing rather than the distribution model, these 5 brands are the answer that the franchise system has no interest in advertising. The steel specification is the same or better. The engineering standard is the same or verified to be higher in independent testing. The corporate relationships are often closer than the industry would like you to realize. The only thing that changed is where the tool is sold and who absorbed the margin along the way. Which brand surprised you most? Put it in the comments below, because the answers say a lot about how deep this particular rabbit hole goes. And if you want to see us pull apart more supply chains, trace more OEM relationships, and find more of the brands that professional buyers know and the industry quietly buries, the subscribe button is right there. Every video on this channel runs the same supply chain analysis, the same material verification, and zero brand sponsorships. We will see you in the next one.